Hello everyone, welcome to Java Tutorials. In this session, we'll look into how parameterized constructors are called when we have parent-child relationships. For example, in the previous session, we have one class A which is acting as a parent class and class B which is a child class. So A is my parent and a class and B is my child class. So the moment I created the object of class B, so BQ equal to new B. So the moment we initialize this object Q of class B, the constructor of B is called, and before constructor of B gets executed, constructor of class A is called upon because B is the child class. Now in this concept, what we did was the parent class or the constructor of parent class was of default type. It was not a parameterized constructor. Let's have a quick look into this. Let us say we create a class A and B. Let me get over here. Okay, so let me have one class A with a default constructor. Let us say we write over here just on it says call a constructor of class A is executed system.out.println constructor of parent class is executed. Okay, then let us create another class B. Let me rearrange these terms. Okay, I think this is better. Okay, now let us create a class B. I will declare class B as public because I'm going to save this as b.java, and in this file we'll be having the main method, or in this class we'll be having the main method. So let us consider B is also a non-parameterized constructor. It's having the default constructor. Let us say here also we call let me copy and paste this statement and say constructor of child class is executed. Okay, let's have main method public static void main string array args, and here we will just create object of class B. So BQ equal to new B, and we will say that class B extends A so that we get a parent-child relationship over here. And let me save this file as let me create another folder over here. No, let me go in main folder, and then here let me create a second folder const2, and I save this as b.java. Okay, now let me clear the stuff. Let me go to the main folder. Okay, cd jps and cd const2. Okay, so this is the folder where I have saved this b.java. So let me compile this java c b.java, and it got compiled. Now while we execute this, so first what will happen the moment the constructor of class B is initialized, not constructor, the object of class B is initialized, it will give the call to its constructor. That means this constructor will be fired, but before this gets executed, what will happen? B is a child class, so it will try to execute the constructor of parent class. So call will given, and constructor of class A will be executed. So output will be constructor of parent class is executed followed by constructor of child class is executed. So let's execute this first, so that will be a little bit clear. Yes, so here we get first we are getting the output as constructor of parent class is executed. Oh, wait a minute, something wrong. Let me clear. I think enter got pressed. Let me recompile and re-execute. Okay, here we go. So first constructor of parent class is getting executed, and then constructor of child class is getting executed. Okay, but what if the constructor of parent class is a parameterized type? So let me say we change over here and we write, let's consider a is having the parameterized constructor and it's taking input of integer data type as a parameter. Now here if you try to save this, first of all your file won't get compiled because it's checking for the constructor. Okay, from when it's checking a constructor of class A, it finds it's a parameterized constructor. By default, the first line of the constructor, if it's the child class in this B, default call is given to A. But right now A is parameterized, so it's giving an error. Now to call upon this, we need to use a special keyword called super, and then you can pass us whatever the value may be. We need to pass the value of integer data type. Okay, super is here is being used to call the constructor of immediate parent class. So let's consider we pass 25. Immediate parent class, we are having class B extends A. So immediate parent class of B is A. So we are using super 25. That means 25 is the value that is passed to the constructor of its parent class. So let me save this and recompile this file. Now it will get compiled. Okay, and now let's execute this. So Java B, you get here. So first the call or the constructor of parent class is getting executed, and thereafter the constructor of child class is getting executed. Now same thing happen. We are having this in single level inheritance. The same thing will happen if you are having multi-level inheritance. That means we are having class A, and then from class A you are creating class B, and from class B you are creating class C. In either of the case, if one of the parent class, one of the constructor of the parent class is parameterized, then its child, there has to be a keyword super in the constructor of its child class. For example, let us consider over here. We will create three classes: class A, class B, and class C. So from class A we are creating class B, and from B we are creating class C. And let us assume only constructor of class A is parameterized. Okay, then if we create an object of class C, let's consider CQ equal to new C. Then what will happen? The moment you create or initialize the object Q of class C, the constructor of C will be fired or executed. Now before C gets executed, it finds that C is a child class, so it will look into the constructor of parent class, immediate parent. Immediate parent of C is what? B. Okay, so it will try to execute B. Okay, but again B is what? B is again a child class, so it will try to execute or call upon the constructor of its immediate parent. Now immediate parent of B is A, but now constructor of A is parameterized, so I cannot have simply the default constructor over there. I cannot write if this is a constructor of B. Okay, I just cannot write one statement and then continue, because constructor of A is parameterized. So I need to implicitly call upon by using the keyword super. So let's consider I write on 10 over here. Whatever, it's some integer value. It might be of some integer value, the parameters of some integer type. So in that case we can have this. Okay, so let's have a small example based on this. So let me what I will do, I will only just change this. Instead of creating completely new program, I will just change this a bit. I will remove main method from here, and what I do, I will create another class, public class C, and let me say extends B. So I get multi-level inheritance. So from A we have B, and from B we are having C. So we are getting over here multi-level inheritance. And now let us consider we create a constructor of class C, and here we just write one statement that welcome developer system.out.println welcome to Java programming. Let's consider one small statement we get that. So the moment we create and initialize the object of class C, this statement should be printed out. And now let's have the main method. Okay, I just copied the previous one. Now here we require the object of class C. Okay, here is the terminal. Let me clear the stuff. Now you first look into the constructors. Okay, look upon the constructors of class A, class B, and class C. Constructor of class A is parameterized. Constructor of class B is non-parameterized, whereas constructor of C is also non-parameterized, or you can say default constructors. Okay. Now, as constructor of class A is parameterized constructor, so whenever we are calling the constructor of class B, or whenever the class B object of class B is getting initialized, the very first statement of this should be super, and you need to pass some parameter that is supporting the type of this parameter. Okay, so let's try to let me save this once. So Java C, I should rename this file because I can't have two public classes, so let me remove this. Let me save this as c.java. Okay, so Java c.java, and it get executed. It got compiled. Now let's execute this Java, and okay, the name itself is C. So over here you get it. Now what if it's not required that all of the constructor needs to parameterize as over here. What we can do, we'll change a bit. So let's consider, let me remove this. This is a default constructor. So and what I make B, constructor of B, as parameterized constructor. Okay, so now in this case what should happen? The first statement, okay, in the constructor of class C should be super, because immediate class of or immediate parent class of class C is B, and constructor of class B is parameterized. So the first line in the constructor of class C should be super, and will pass some random value because it's some integer type, so we need to pass integer. So now let's compile it. I'm saving it and compiling. Yes, it will execute it, and then Java C. Okay, that's it. Anyways, you cannot, if the constructor is default constructor, then you cannot use super and pass a parameter. For example, class A is a default constructor. Now here I can't say like this. I'm passing some value. I'm using super keyword in constructor B, so it will give me an error because I do not have any parameterized constructor. So let me save it and let me recompile. It must throw an error. Yes, it is throwing an error because we do not have any parameterized constructor. But if we have a overloaded constructor, if one of the constructor is parameterized of integer data type, then in that case it will do. Okay, that's it for this session. Okay, so bottom line, what we can say, that if you have a parent-child relationship, whether you are having single level inheritance or multi-level inheritance, and if one of the class which is acting as a parent class, it consists of the parameterized constructor, and then the first line of its then the first line of the constructor of its immediate child class. Okay, class B extends A. Okay, accepted. And then class B consists of one parent class, one parameterized constructor. Then if we have a child class of class B the way we are having, then the first line of the constructor of the child class, that is first line of constructor C, should have the first line should be super. and it should pass the data corresponding to its data type of the parent constructor. Okay, that's it for this session. In the case you liked the video, then hit like and subscribe. Thank you. That's it for this session.